Or I could just, you know, start talking. Since my 5 minutes are up. Hello everyone. I'll just switch to the blobber screen. My name is Dojal. I am, have been, and always will be your very own stranger. And today, we're going to go back into Limbus Company MSQ. So I did some, as they say, grinding off screen. Or off camera. Mostly because I don't want to stream this every day, and B, I don't think the grind's particularly interesting, so I just do that on my own. Plus, I don't want to promote gacha nonsense, so most of that will be happening off stream. However, the short version is, I got myself a couple of new identities, and I leveled into level 16, and I kept the rest at level 13, because I don't think I'll be using them much. It'll take me a couple months to get up to cover in the MSQ. You know what? That's fine. I'm not here for a fast time. Something to that effect. Anyway, let's just keep going, shall we? The unconfronting. So last time we learned that we were going to District 11, and Sinclair immediately got sick, which suggests to me that I was right in that this was gonna be about Sinclair. K-Corp, Homeland of HP Bullets. I did think about that. Yeah, that is right. Were they also SP Bullets, or was that L-Corp? I don't remember. Shortly after the situation with Sinclair was dealt with.
아까는 11구 뒷골목으로 간다는 걸 K사라고 잘못 말한 거지. 딴지 걸기엔 다들 들떠 보이는 분위기라 타이밍을 놓쳤는데.
난 어지간해서는 잘못 말하는 법이 없다. 맞게 들었어, 그레고르.
SP Bullets might be L-Corp because I'm Keflin. I don't know if I fully know the lore about that one. Oh shit, we're going to a nest.
그래. 힘사가 필요하지.
난 K사 비자 없는데. 나 빼고 다들 있는 거 아니지?
Wait, each nest has its own visa?
뭐냐? 왜 날 보냐?
That kind of surprises me. Sinclair!
그리고 뚫릴 때까지 죽사를 반복하면 돼. 즉, 닭, 돌, 죽살.
Apparently, this is a lot more intelligible in JP, or in Korean, because they actually have 4-syllable poetry, which is what she's doing, instead of just, you know, making weird acronyms. Well, and Keflin is relaxing, so I would imagine L-Corp supplied K-Corp with it while they made the bullet or something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what the exact... I'm almost certain that some part of W-Corp is involved with the execution bullets, because it seems to send whoever it shoots to the void. So, and yes, I know that's not W-Corp's own singularity, but they do own it. Anyway, whatever that eccentric abbreviation means for Yoshu, the sinners have learned to stop questioning it.
링버스 컴퍼니 정도의 회사라면 그냥 통과될지도 모를 텐데요. 그리고 료슈 씨가 말한 방식으로는 엄청난 시간이 소모될 거예요. 날개가 관리하는 둥지를 대체 뭐라고 생각하는 거예요?
Oh, I see. No one's gonna take into account how much I'll suffer for that cider, huh? The absolute clerk hate with execution bullets. Well, if they would just stop letting the abnormalities out, I wouldn't have to shoot them. Sadly, none of our sinners bothers to respond to me in any capacity.
이스마일이 말한 대로 우리는 비자를 면제받아 통과한다. 림버스 컴퍼니의 뒤엔 꽤 다양한 분야의 주주들이 계시거든.
아, 혹시 H사의 주주님도 아시나요? 제 동생이 어렸을 때 붉은색 여권이 아니면 안 된다고 고집을 부려서
Fuck off, Honglu.
저희 집에 방문해 주신 적이 있으시거든요.
Motherfucker dropping names out of nowhere.
글쎄, 나 같은 일개 길잡이는 그런 것까지 아는 위치가 아니라서.
I want to know what the fuck Limbus Company is doing having a fucking collar on the retainer, by the way.
그렇게
Then again, I guess Lobotomy Corp did have Kebra.
질문도 아니고.
Or Kali while they were researching. But at least Kali believed in the fucking in the cause. What the fuck do they have on this dude?
통행권을 노리는 자들이 지천으로 널려 있다는 뜻이기도 하지.
버스 근처에 불청객의 소리가 많다.
Anyway, I was talking, and I should probably. Well, have bus will battle. What? Dante? Dante, are you okay? Alright, so general ruffians trying to get into the nest. Got it. Oh wow, these really are just general ruffians.
제압 실시.
Pretty sure I could just win rate this.
내가 시범을 보이지.
적점을 찾았습니다.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려. 머리통을 박살내주마.
Wow, these fellas are getting destroyed. Jesus. I know they're rats, but
기절했나? 위협 대상 제거.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
제압 실시.
공격. 다음은 어디니?
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
but yeah, it's not my fault that I needed to shoot 3 clerks of fucking meltdown.
기분 좋게 도착.
What the fuck?
자, 내리지. 심사받을 시간이다.
What does that even mean, Caron?
혹시나 해서 말하는 건데 너희가 평소에 하던 대로, 그러니까 볼성사납게 사고를 치고 다녀도 일이 수습될 거라는 기대는
Vergilius, please don't encourage them.
우선은 버리는 게 좋을 거다.
I thought his words were pretty intimidating, but despite the worries,
K사로 방문하신 모든 분께 환영의 인사를 드립니다. 한 줄로 순서에 맞게 입장하신 다음 안내문에 따라 적합한 위치에 서주십시오.
the menacing and interrogative atmosphere could subdue the temper of any first-time visitor, and the sinners were no exception. Holy shit, they might actually make Heathcliff mellow. I could occasionally hear Sinclair sniffling, followed by Rhodia and Gregor calming him. Aww, we have 2 parents. Any of my questions why were met with heads shaken sideways.
그래, 평소에도 이렇게나 질서를 지키면 얼마나 좋아. 소풍 나온 병아리가.
Vergilius, do not fucking encourage them!
당신이 왜?
Wait, he's coming with us for once? What made you follow us outside the bus this time? Noticing my flustered reaction at the unexpected company, Vergilius opened his mouth.
이곳이 둥지이기 때문입니다, 단테. 혹여나 이곳에서 예상 못한 사고라도 치는 순간, 단테, 당신이 전부 책임지기는 어려워질 테니까.
When Virgilius put it like that, it sounded as if he were saying you're not reliable enough to be sent without supervision. But I knew it'd be wise to keep this to myself. As Virgilius continues to be a fucking jackass.
깔끔한 전투였어요. 적의 모든 급소를 파악했거든요.
Code Purple. Well, that's not good. Even as
금방 빠지네요. 10분 정도만 기다리면 저희 차례가 오겠어요. 통과 질문은 저희 13명이 다 해야 하나요? 단테 씨는 말을 못 알아들을 텐데 어떻게 해야 하죠?
Ishmael seems to have a habit of speaking quickly and being more inquisitive when she got anxious.
안 그래도 그 이야기를 하려던 참이었지. 잘 들어. K사 직원은 이쪽 줄에 서 있는 사람들에게는 매우 간단한 질문만 할 거다. 그리고 너희들 또한 매우 간단한 대답만 하면 되는 거야. 신문소 직원이 어떤 목적으로 왔냐고 물어보면 림버스 컴퍼니 업무상으로 왔습니다. 업무 비자를 확인해 주세요. 라고 대답을 하면 된다. 토시 하나 빼먹지 말고 그대로 외워.
Apparently we have work visas.
그 밖에는 내가 알아서 할 테니 그저 문제를 일으키지 않을 사람이라는 것만 정리.
혹시나 저 말을 외우지 못하겠다면 차라리 입을 다물고 있으세요. 그저 갖고 계시는 사원증을 내밀기만 해도 되니까요.
Keep quiet and don't cause trouble. Easiest tasks in the world. Dante, I'm gonna fucking disassemble your clock. I sneakily mumbled a sarcastic remark. I was worried that Faust might rat me out, but thankfully, Virgilius was idly staring off into space, sparing me from his scathing commentary.
자, 그럼 질문이 있는 사람은 내가 정말 가치 있는 질문을 생각했는가에 대한 고민을 해본 후에 조용히 손을 들도록.
Several hands were lifted, including mine.
로지온,
업무 목적이니까 무기는 들고 들어가도 되지?
그렇다. 다음.
그럼 그에게 기기괴기한 팔이나 단테의 근사한 시계머리도 상관없겠네?
맞아요. 참고로 관리자님의 머리는 무기가 아니라 의체로 분류되기 때문에 관광 비자여도 허용은 돼요. 비록 불사의 능력을 지니고 있더라도요.
Ishmael took the role of the model student and answered in Virgilius' stead. Shut up, Ishmael. It feels like something changed about Ishmael's attitude since the casino job. She seems to have decided to take matters into her own hands after I betrayed her expectations of my capabilities as a leader.
정확해.
Gregor and I put our hands down at the same time.
그리고 리오슈, 담배는 끄고 얘기하도록.
난 손 안 들었다만.
Don, what are you looking at? Virgilius was doing his best to ignore Don Quixote's arm-stretched skyward. But he finally caved and gave the woman with an adamantly raised hand the chance to speak.
그래, 돈키호테. 뭐지?
저 유리벽은 어떤 용도로 있는 것이오?
Following Don Quixote's fingers, our attention was drawn to the glass wall stood in the middle of the building. On the other side of that clear dividing wall were countless people waiting in line.
저쪽은 기다린다기보다는 아예 사람들이 바닥에 앉아 있군. 줄을 선지 꽤 시간이 지난 모양이야.
무장 경호원도 많군. 이곳 인원의 3배.
대부분 건물에 세워져 있는 유리벽은 안전을 위한 용도일 가능성이 크다.
뭐 쉽게 말하자면 뒷골목 사람들 전용 구역이지. 둥지마다 방식은 다르지만 어쨌든 제대로 된 비자가 없이 다른 둥지로 가는 건 진짜 까다롭거든. 왜 검문소 근처에서 목숨까지 걸고 우리를 습격하려고 했겠어? 비자를 강제로 빼앗아서라도 둥지에 가려고 했던 거지.
그리고 우리가 해결해 줄 수 없는 문제이기도 하지.
However, that answer didn't satisfy Don Quixote. Isn't Don Quixote famous for helping a group of pilgrims? I actually don't know the story in depth. Like, I know the cliff notes, but I haven't actually read the book by the Cervantes. Whether it was the fault of the gloomy yet oppressive atmosphere of the area beyond the wall, or the disturbances happening in there, I couldn't say.
관리자님, 저희 차례입니다.
Huh? Right. Is someone gonna speak for me, or... Our line moved at such a quick pace, we barely had time to chat before it was our turn to answer the official's questions.
기억하세요. 그쪽에서 어떤 목적으로 왔냐고.
한 번만 더 말하면 심사관인지 뭔지 아는 놈이랑 만단지에 해주겠어.
Sangria. Despite Ishmael's worries, our inspection was smooth sailing.
소속 그룹 이유를 말씀해 주세요.
업무처 림버스 컴퍼니에서 왔습니다. 사원증 확인 부탁드립니다.
확인했습니다. 다음.
림버스 컴퍼니에서 왔죠. 비즈니스 때문에. 서원증 보시면 된대요.
확인했습니다. 다음.
After our first sinner proved who we worked for, it was a breeze for the rest of us. The official asked the same question in the same dry tone, took a cursory glance at our faces and employee cards, though based on their speed it seemed more like a cosmetic gesture rather than an actual look over, and then let each sinner pass.
저쪽에서 무슨 문제가 생겼나 봐요.
The glass wall standing between us and them was thick enough to block out sound. It was hard for us to tell what was going on through the wall. However, I could see what was happening unambiguously. Someone with cuffed hand was being dragged away by security, and a small child was crying next to them, clearly scared and confused.
신경 쓰지 말죠. 잘은 모르지만 날개의 금기를 어긴 모양이에요.
그래. 가난뱅이들이 어긴 금기를 봤자 만족스러울 만큼 충분한 돈을 뒷구멍에 찔러주지 않았다는 거 웬 더 있겠어?
Thank you, Heathcliff.
지금 저한테 이죽되는 건가요?
뭐야? 신경 쓸 일은 아니라며. 너무 신경 쓰는데?
God damn it, you assholes. While I was distracted by Heathcliff loudly celebrating his first successful tease on Ishmael, our usual suspect sprang forth at her least expected moment yet again. God damn it, Dawn.
소속 그룹 이유를 말씀해 주세요.
약자에게 자유를 주기 위해 왔노라.
An emotion is expressed for the first time on the checkpoint official's face. Flabbergastation. Flabbergastation, what an interesting word to use. They looked up at Don Quixote with a face screaming that it was flabbergasted.
저자들을 풀어주게. 고통스러워하고 있지 않은가?
Can we leave her behind?
소속 그룹 이유를 말씀해 주세요.
The official ignored her demand and patted at the same question. All the while, Don Quixote was getting more upset by the minute. And then, in looking through the transparent wall again, I saw the desperate child mouth a scream at the man dragged away in handcuffs. Of course. Jesus, Don!
그대가 나설 마음이 없다면 내가 직접 해결하겠네.
Vergilius, you see what I have to fucking deal with?
코드 퍼플. 금기 K185 위반 발생. 트롬보사이트 지원 요망. 재전파 트롬보사이트.
Huh, thrombocyte. That sounds familiar. Beating away from inquiry like a broken record, the official spoke an intimidating immune response to the radio. Immune response?
안내합니다. 코드 퍼플. 순환 이동 검문소 14번. 트롬보사이트, 루코사이트.
Blaring sirens accompanied the perplexing announcement, all the while thick metal gates shut around us.
그냥 대갈통 총을 부수고 시체 자루에 넣어서 지나갈 걸 그랬어.
For once, I agree with Heathcliff.
그런다고 아주 달라질 건 없었을 것 같지만요.
트롬보 루코 각각 혈소판 백혈구를 의미하는 것 같소만.
In other words, enforcement.
저들을 의미하나 보군요. K사와 어울리네요.
Looking in the direction Faust indicated, we all saw what she meant. Security forces wearing menacing uniforms were staring at us. Again, can we just bash Dawn over the head and say that we're not involved in any of this? Because Jesus Christ, man. Or woman. What is your major malfunction? Holy shit, that is a bit of a jump. And the other one's 16. Okay. I may need to spend more XP tickets.
이번 지휘도 부탁드립니다.
I've gotten used to this sort of situation, but it looks pretty serious.
네. 날개의 금기를 어겼으니까요.
It's not like anyone was hurt. Can't we just talk this through? Faust looked straight into my face. For Faust to face someone directly when she usually stares into empty space as she speaks can only indicate one thing. I must have said something incredibly frustrating.
어떤 날개든 금기를 어겼다는 건
A loud explosion left Don Quixote dismembered where she stood.
별도의 발포 경고 없이 금기자를 처단할 수 있다는 뜻이에요.
It looks like border control isn't willing to forgive us until they dismember the rest of the sinners. Armed security staff was surrounding us on all sides.
날이 갈수록 놀라워. 바닥 밑에 고여있던 조그만 기대감마저 증발시켜버리니 말이야. 난 빠지지. 저 녀석의 단독 범행이라고 하든 다 같이 해결하든.
Why can't we just pin the whole thing on her and then have someone steal the corpse and revive it later?
아까는 관리자님만으로는 부족하니까 동행한 거라면서요.
어쩔 수 없는 것에 책임을 져준다고 했지. 이따위 헛짓거리에 동참해준다는 뜻은 아니었다.
Vergilius casually pushed his way through the line of armed guards and leaned against a wall. He then crossed his arms as if to further drive home that he'll remain a spectator. Well, that is a whole lot of struggling.
내가 시범을 보이지.
Remember, the safe word is police brutality. I see.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
자. 다음에는 머리다.
Remember, the safe word is banana.
돌격합니다.
내가 시범을 보이지. 이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
Man, Ishmael popping off out of nowhere. I know she scales off of low HP, but Jesus.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게. 다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
I swear to God, these motherfuckers are cheating with those coins. Kidding, of course.
머리다.
Well, that looked dicey for a second there.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
머리통을 박살내주마. 공격!
기절했나?
자. 다음은 머리다. 자. 다음은 머리다.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
나의 손으로 잘라낼 수 있다면
Smash.
다음은 어디입니까? 기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
I wonder if code purple is a reference to bruising.
위협 대상 제거. 위협 대상 제거.
Really just gonna watch from there?
그렇게 쳐다봐도 소용없습니다, 관리자님.
I do not buy that he doesn't understand what I'm communicating.
아무도 귀담아 듣지 않는 길잡이 주제에 칼까지 빼드는 건 주제넘은 짓이 아니겠습니까? 마지막으로 오지랖을 부려보자면 K사의 특이점은 HP 탄으로 웬만한 상처쯤은 순식간에
I heard HP in there.
어쩌면 관리자님의 그 능력과도 유사하겠군요.
Hey, wait! Completely ignoring my feeble plea, not that they could hear it, K-Corp's security closed in on us.
오늘 연주는 만족스러웠어요.
That got kinda scary there at the start. Actually, that's probably a bad idea. Literally just a fight. I beg your pardon. That's just rude. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that.
임무 시작.
Did I also actually do that previous one in 10 turns? I don't know if I did.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
공격!
제압 실시.
Isang, just once I would like you to throw heads when I tell you to evade.
머리다.
제압 실시.
내가 시범을 보이지.
I do appreciate the reference of She Ishmael powering up on low health. A reference to the extreme fatigue thing in Ruina.
제압 실시.
완전한 침묵. 그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
위협 대상 제거.
돌격합니다. 공격! 머리다. 머리통을 박살내주마. 기름도 나오지 않는 놈이군.
침묵.
완벽한 임무였어. 다음에도 저희 추바이를 이용해 주세요.
HP bullets.
이게 옳은 선택일까?
Not even gonna have an intro. Got it.
머리통을 박살내주마.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
You thought for once in your life actually dodge something.
돌격합니다. 자, 다음에는 머리다.
제압 실시.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
기절했나?
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
기절했나? 위협 대상 제거.
돌격합니다. 다음에는 머리다.
기절했나?
Who got staggered? Oh, that's fine.
내가 시범을 보이지. 기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려. 자.
위협 대상 제거.
내가 시범을 보이지.
Damn it, Rodia.
다음에는 머리다. 너무 쉽잖아.
Sinclair's voice doesn't really match his body, I feel like.
내가 시범을 보이지.
자, 기절했나? 위협 대상 제거.
내가 시범을 보이지.
I feel like I'm failing the EX conditions a little.
또 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
Just in time for turn time. Okay. K-Corp Singularity, HP bullets. Any would-be fatal injuries we managed to inflict were healed away with a single shot of those regenerative rounds. It was only a matter of time before the thread by which Heathcliff's patience was hung snapped.
못해먹겠네. 우린 세상에서 제일 의미 없는 일을 하고 있어, 알아?
말했잖아요. 날개와 엮이는 건 무의미하다고요.
이렇게 실시간으로 허무해지는 전투일 줄은 몰랐지.
잘라내면 잘라내는 대로 살점이 차오른다.
Damn, Mersault.
전투를 제대로 지속하기 어렵다.
이딴 예술도 있는 거군.
Ryoshu made the most pained expression I've seen from her, begrudgingly swinging her sheath around. Cuts and slashes will mend before even a drop of blood can spill from them. There couldn't be a worse battle for Ryoshu to fight. Isn't there anything we can do?
HP. 헬라포이시스 기술은 손실된 신체의 세포를 끊임없이 보충하는 기술이에요. 한번 투약받아도 상당히 오래 지속되는데 둥지 안에서 보급을 받는 자들은 전투로는 이길 방법이 없다고 할 수도 있겠네요.
Even Faust was shaking her head in despondency, but then...
혼란 속에 비로소 이 몸이 등장하였으니.
What the fuck? A peal of overwhelmingly energetic laughter rang through the air. Who in the blue hell?
깔끔한 전투였어요. 적의 모든 급소를 파악해.
A smooth battle, you say? I don't know how smooth that was. Siegfried. I don't like the name Siegfried. I swear to God if he Persona frees himself. A figure approached us with terrifying force, reminiscent of a frenzied beast.
뭐야? 뭐가 달려오고 있는 거야?
앞으로 3초. 관리자님, 판단을.
If the ETA is 3 seconds, then I don't know. I'm not sure what to. If the ETA is 3 seconds, my judgment isn't going to be very long. Virgilius was the only one who showed no surprise. To be more clear, he was more displeased than unsurprised at his apparently expected arrival.
역시 오시는군. K사의 대스타.
A jovial-looking man appeared amidst the chaos with an obnoxious laugh.
모두 안녕하신가? 목격담은 얼마든지 올려도 되지만 사진 촬영부터는 K사의 공식 허가가 필요하네.
What am I looking at? Were you assaulted by a Marvel cosplay event? What the fuck?
다만 30분 후에는 잡지 인터뷰가 있어서 길게는 시간을 내주지 못해. 섭섭해도 이해해주게.
We're gonna have to fight him at some point, aren't we?
왜 안 오나 했지. 날개 월급쟁이가 되어버렸다지. 지크프리타.
Yeah, I noticed the prosthetic arms, but also just his entire outfit is. Also, those gauntlets don't match with.
코드 퍼플이 발동해서 불이 나게 달려왔더니만 그대의 친구들이었나 보군.
친구 아니야. 이 소동 속에 나는 무관하다는 걸 알아주면 좋겠군.
그럼
그래, 화끈한 정신 개조를 부탁하지.
Oh, we are gonna be fighting him.
무슨 이야기를 둘이서만 불길하게 속닥거려?
동감. 어디서 굴러온 놈이지?
보아하니 꽤 구석진 골목에서 온 분들도 있나 보군. 좋아. 그렇다면 이번만큼은 특별히 사진 서비스도 제공해주겠어.
I think I found someone I hate more than Dom.
우리를 아주 길거리 추종자처럼 대하고 있군. 감히
Although, of course, Don Quixote, what's wrong? I figured.
우리가 좀 바빠서 1분 안으로 끝내줘. 저 시계머리는 빼고 부탁하지.
Keep that clockhead out of it. Thanks, Virgilius.
의체인간. 그렇다면 50초로 하지.
Project Moon, what happened to you? Both a skilled fighter and a talented performer, I could only watch in awe as he proved himself to be nothing short of a quote-unquote hero.
자, 여기를 한번 봐주게. 우리 팬들이 매우 좋아해 줄 거야.
이 새끼 더럽게 강하군.
응? 방금 뭐란 거지? 깜찍하군 그래?
We're not gonna have fucking... Thank God. One after another, he made short work of the sinners. Virgilius watched the carnage with a pleased expression.
동지에서 주제도 모르고 나대면 어떤 결과를 초래하는지 깨달을 필요가 있지. 단테, 지금의 당신은 기억이 안 나겠지만 당신도 어쩌면 거물 같은 존재였음. 내가 있었습니다.
Thanks for reminding me that you are an asshole, Virgilius. I almost forgot. I was? I just couldn't picture it. Right now, I'm just a powerless leader who fumbles in any emergency, constantly being chewed up, spat out, and ignored in the trash by my sinners. They've even started treating me as the team's field medic. To think that this miserable manager used to be the respected leader of many sometime in the past. I felt a genuine desire to ask Faust for another way to recover my memories.
하지만 기억을 잃었다는 사실이 당신의 관리 소홀에 대한 온전한 면죄부가 되어줄 순 없죠. 무슨 말인지 스스로 아실 거라 믿습니다.
You know what, Virgilius? Fuck off. I give me a fucking head to put Dawn in, and then we'll talk. Want to isolate her from the world. I thought of the staff at the Cape Corps checkpoint. They showed no pity for the family they were about to tear apart, treating it all as nothing more than part of the due procedure. Although Don Quixote got us into trouble when she sprang forth to rectify injustice, I just know it would have haunted my sleep for days if we turned a blind eye. And seeing Heathcliff tighten the grip on his weapon to veins as he witnessed the disturbance, if not Don Quixote, I feel at least one of us would have intervened. Truth be told, I didn't do everything in my power to keep Don Quixote down. Virgilius isn't necessarily wrong when he says the blame rests on me for causing this. Taking back my head might not be the best after all, Virgilius.
이거 참. 다음엔 꼭 마이크를 달아놔달라고 해야겠군.
Virgilius, I don't fucking buy it!
알아들었다는 소리로 이해하겠습니다.
46.5초. 오늘도 세계를 정의롭게 수호한 시간이었다.
무대는 끝난 모양이군. 시계 돌릴 시간입니다, 단테.
Question. They're not gonna take this well, are they? So is Siegfried a color? Well, he's not a fixer anymore, so it's hard to tell. Oh god, it's so stupid. Well, so, like, it looks like he left a fixer life behind and joined K-Corp, so it's hard to tell if he's even a fixer anymore. Is he a color? I mean, it's pretty much impossible to tell if he's grade 1 color, like... Because the sinners are not librarians or agents, they, So it's just hard to tell what exactly he is. I don't think he is a color because he... Like... He has the whole outfit and shit going on, but... Funny enough, nothing about him really stands out in a way that would make you become a color. Is what I'm gonna say tentatively. After 12 worlds of agony, the sinners were all back in one piece. The massacre must have been humbling because it feels rather strange seeing them this quiet.
어떻게 지내고 있었는가 붉은 시선. 요새 통 얼굴 보기가 힘들었는데 둥지 속 우수한 해결사들의 모임에도 안 나오고.
League of Excellent Nest-Dwelling Fixits. I hate you.
내가 초대장을 무려 수십 장이나 보냈는데.
He doesn't have a noun to his name, I can see that. Yeah. Like, yeah, he has the arms and the lightning powers, but... Being powerful and being a color isn't the same thing, I feel like.
주소 바꿨어. 그리고 당신처럼 충실하게 꼬리 따위 흔들고 있을 여유도 없지.
Wait, then what do you have time for, Virgilius, considering you're in our bus constantly? I don't know what happened between these two, but Virgilius is a bit hostile here, right? Dante. The only thing he's ever been is hostile.
첫 보기에도 둘의 성향이 다르다고 느끼지 않나요, 단테?
In what ways?
간단히 말하자면 지크프리트 씨는 해결사 중에서도 날개 친화적인 쪽에 가까웠죠. 반면에 베르길리우스 씨는 해결사만의 독립성을 추구했어요. 영향력이 강한 어느 한 곳에 해결사가 종속되는 순간 해결사가 지켜야 할 최소한의 가치마저도 힘 있는 자들 한정에선 누구보다 엄격한 잣대를 들이미는 사람이니까요.
While speaking with Faust, I saw Don Quixote quake and approach Siegfried with shaky hands. She must have been honored to see him, even after being mincemeat by his hands mere moments ago.
아니요. 그대 피규어도 모아놓았어. 한정판은 아니지만 나도 그대처럼 엄청난 해결사가 되는 것이 꿈이요.
해결사 꿈나무군. 시간이 얼마 없지만 사인은 해줄 수 있지.
Oh no, she's gonna explode.
그게 정말이요? 그럼 사인은 여기.
I wonder how sick her voice actress must be at the end of a recording.
숨 좀 쉬어 돈키호테.
I'm starting to like the dynamic that Rhodia and Gregor are becoming the parents of these fuckers.
안내합니다. 상황 종료. 코드 퍼플. 상황 종료. 코드 퍼플. 올 코드 클리어.
일은 성공적으로 끝마쳤다. 그럼 또 어디선가에서 보도록 하지.
Honestly, if he was a color, he would be the green cackle. Leaping with tremendous force, Siegfried vanished into the air. Although there was a small delay, we did get the travel permit in the end. Vergilius returned to the bus in the meantime, or perhaps he only got off knowing that we'd run into that Siegfried. He looked rather upset as he walked away, but no one else seemed to care that much. I am going to fucking give you the crying children treatment next time, Don Quixote, if you can't sit still for 5 minutes. Clueless to the surrounding frigidness, Don Quixote was as happy as a clam, caressing the sheet of paper autographed by Siegfried. Just as I was about to give the blissful Don Quixote a word while we walked out of the border checkpoint, an armored vehicle stopped before us.
새로운 적인가? 둥지 검문소 앞에서 간도 크군.
이 차는 LCC 청소부서 소속이군요.
Oh right, it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Following Faust's plain reply, the vehicle's doors opened.
왜 이렇게 오래 걸린 거야? 이 근처를 3바퀴나 뱅뱅 돌았잖아.
Alright, Jesse and James. A couple of familiar faces appeared out of the car. I still don't trust these two. Effie and Son. Even though their outfits had changed, their faces were greased with just as much confidence and poise. Oh, so they're gonna do a lot of crits. Got it.
분위기가 좀 달라졌군 그래.
그건 카지노 잠입을 위한 위장복이었답니다. 결과적으론 쓸모가 없긴 했지만 말이에요.
그 심부를 찌르는 말투는 여전하구만.
It's quite a big armored car to fit 13 motherfuckers. Plus these two. And that dude behind them. Side note, where is the front seat? My chest ached a little at the thought of the harmonious cacophony that was our last operation. I still maintain that fumbling the luck was actually the best way to spend it.
소드, 저 시계 시침 바르르 떨리는 거 보여? 저러다가 울기라도 하겠어.
Beyond the windows is the front cabin. I guess that makes sense.
아직 발전해야 할 부분이 한참 남아 있었지만 그래도 LCB 부서만의 색깔이 있다는 걸 인정하기로 했거든요.
In spite of the rough path we took, it sounds like we did leave a positive impression on the two.
비포팀들은 먼저
Somehow.
작전 현장에 도착했는 줄 알았는데요.
다른 대원들은 이미 도착해 있을 거야. 너희들이 알면 유용할 추가 정보가 있어서 잠시 남아서 기다려주기로 했지.
Alright, James.
어떻든 간에 우리가 신경이 쓰였다는 거네. 맞지?
I also made an interesting observation earlier that I might talk
너희들도
about.
우리의 매력에 헤어나오지 못했던 거 아니야? 왜 그런 거 있잖아. 귀신같이 맛없는 재료들만 모아놓아서 요리했는데 묘하게 맛이 있는 거?
맞아. 전장에 그런 게 많았지. 분명 먹을 당시에는 비참했는데 자꾸 기억에 남는 그...
두 분 다 어떤 음식을 드셔왔던 거죠?
저 그런데 전달받을 정보란 어떤 것인가요?
Thank you, Honglu, for once you say something worthwhile.
이번 목표 지점 말이야. 우리 말고 다른 집단이 점령해 있는 상태인 것 같아.
Another faction. Huh. In a wing?
그래서 우리 쪽에서도
In a nest?
보다 많은 인원을 투입하고 있지.
그래봤자 또 어디서 모여드는 쇠파리 같은 놈들이겠지.
As Otis pointed out, we weren't new to encounters against groups of foes drawn near the Golden Bows. For our first mission, straggling soldiers from G-Corp took shelter in the abandoned facility. And on our second, a variety of gangs inhabited the casino.
안타깝지만 이번 상대들은 예전 같은 부스러기는 아닌 모양이야. 심사 기록을 슬쩍 살펴보니까 몇 주 전 엔사에서
How did you even access those?
심지어 우리와 목적지가 같더라고.
Oh shit, N-Corp. Oh boy. It's the Sin Eaters.
인사에서요?
공식적으로 드러난 행보는 아니지만 K사 쪽에서도 심사 통과를 해준 걸로 봐선 모종의 거래가 있었을 수도 있지.
즉, 엔사에서 미리 파견이 와 있는 게 사실이라면 가는 길이 순탄하지만은 않을 거라는 소리랍니다.
그렇군. 이거 자칫하다 여러 날개를 척 찌는 건 아닌지 몰라.
장기적으로 봤을 때 날개 간의 충돌은 불가피한 수순일 거예요. 하지만 엔사에서 공식적인 파견을 공표한 게 아닌 걸 봐서는 단순히 이익 집단 간의 충돌로 마무리될 수도 있고요. 어쩌면 그들이 진정으로 원하는 건 황금 가지가 아니라는 가능성도 배제할 순 없어요.
Then what would they be after?
여기저기에 써먹기 편한 게 우리라는 건 부정되지 않은 것 같지만.
아 맞아. K사 입국관리소에서 소동을 일으킨 멍청이들이 있다고 했는데 혹시 얼굴 봤어?
소문이라는 건 참 빠르게 퍼지는군. 마치 로신한테 갔어.
Don Quixote hung her head, possibly in embarrassment. Perhaps she's finally starting to learn that her reckless actions have repercussions. In Mersault's promo image revealing his design, you can see N-Corp as the background. Okay. That or I'm mistaken and she's glad more people know of what she's done.
가깝지 뭐예요. 그런 광경은 자주 볼 수 있지도 않았을 텐데. 목숨이 여러 개 있는 게 아닌 이상 누가 감히 입국관리소에서부터 소란을.
Speaking of which...
설마 아니죠?
자자, 시간도 얼마 없고 하니 빨리 이동하죠.
이런 베르길리우스님은 이번에도 안 계시나 보네.
Yeah, he seems to be avoiding you two a little.
그 양반 먼저 버스로 돌아갔어.
아쉽네요. 이번에야말로 얼굴 한번 비추고 싶었는데.
다음에는 꼭 인사를 하고 말겠어. 너희 대신 우리를 합류시킬 생각은 없냐고도 물어볼 계획이거든.
What? That's the reason you wanted to meet him?
마냥 농담은 아니랍니다. 이따가 현장에서 다시 봐요.
너희가 무사히 도착할 수 있다면 말이야.
So, yeah, Virgilius seems to bow out conveniently when you two show up. I wonder... Oh look, more story. But yeah, a thing I've noticed, most characters, when they do an ego, when they do their, like, standard ego attack, seem to be in the same sort of pajamas, with one exception. Well, pajamas, striped, some sort of striped outfit. There is one exception, which is, Miss Can Totally Be Trusted Otis, who seems to be in an entirely different outfit. A pouty Charon and a cold stare of Virgilius awaited us on the bus. The air was heavy with a sense of oppression, leaving little room for light-hearted jokes.
늦었어. 카론 100까지 샜는데도 너희 안 왔어.
Otis is not sus, which is why we are absolutely forbidden for looking into her background and why she acts as the most sus individual that ever existed. She seemed to have a few more words ready to be flung in that icy tone, but Virgilius put a hand on her shoulder and gave her a glance.
베르, 카론은 지금을 기억할 것입니다.
Wait, what is happening?
다음에 사탕 사줄 테니까.
Karon sat in her driver's seat without further complaint, and Virgilius slowly turned to us. If there was one thing the sinners and I were all good at, it'd be sensing imminent danger and making way. Dispersing from the group, we scuttled away into our seats, leaving only Don Quixote anxiously standing in the aisle of the bus.
변명을 듣겠다, 돈 키호테.
본인은 핍박받고 있는 약자를 그냥 지나칠 수 없어.
아니, 틀렸지.
My vision couldn't follow what happened in that instance. I have nothing to blink, so it shouldn't have been possible for me to miss the moment, and yet... When I caught up with the situation, the first thing that came into my sight was Don Quixote brought to the ground, shoulder trampled under Virgilius' shoe.
나는 변명을 하라고 했지. 네 사상을 변호하라고 하지 않았다.
He's mad. And for once I'm on his side.
처음이 아니지, 돈 키호테. 벌써 3번이나 비슷한 일이 있었다. 네 정신 나간 짓 때문에 3번이나 일이 어그러질 뻔했다고. 어떻게 생각하지? 말해봐라.
본인에 의해 동료에게 폐를 끼치기는 했다만.
Don Quixote's pained groan grew louder, but no one stepped in. Of course, she was being punished for her own actions. But more than anything, it was evident that disrupting this wasn't going to make the situation better.
생각을 물었다고. 왜 말을 알아듣지 못하지?
말하고 있지 않았어.
너는 여기서 미안하다는 말을 했어야 해, 돈 키호테. 덧붙일 거라면 앞으로 어떻게 할 것인지 계획을 말했어야 했고.
이런... 아까부터 답을 정해놓고 말하고 있지 않소.
모르나? 회사는 대부분 정해진 답을 갖고 있다. 그 답을 맞출 수 있는 길을 물을 뿐이지. 회사가 너 따위에게 의견을 묻고 있다고 생각하면 큰 착각이다.
회사가 그렇다면 본인은...
지치는군.
Virgilius kicked Don Quixote, tossing her to the floor. Then gripping her fall by the collar.
입살들을 기억하고 있겠지. 그날의 거래를 잊지 않았으면 좋겠습니다, 돈 키호테 씨.
Virgilius's eyes glistened with a much brighter hue of red than usual. Staring directly into them, Don Quixote soon gave back a nod without another word.
여기까지. 원래 위치로 돌아가도록.
Watching someone who usually exuded pride and confidence quite quickly shift to such a discouraged, crestfallen state didn't exactly make for a pleasant sight. Though a deal that got Don Quixote to go silent simply by bringing it up, it makes me wonder what it was about.
다른 놈들도 마찬가지다. 회사는 자아 실현의 공간이나 사상을 설파하는 장소가 아니다. 취업 규칙을 위반하면서도 돌발 행동을 하겠다면 자신이 치를 대가를 한 번쯤 더 생각하고 행동에 옮기도록. 죽는 게 낫다고 생각하겠지만 죽지 못할 거고, 프리랜서가 되고 싶겠지만 퇴사가 불가능한 시기를 보내.
아무래도 저 양반 이거 뭐더라?
Sack friture.
힘이 기분이 상했던 모양이군.
Gregor, not helping.
본격적으로 작전 시작도 안 했는데 잔소리나 들었잖아. 그러니까 눈치 좀 보면서 행동했어야지.
에휴, 언젠가 한 번은 이럴 날이 올 줄 알았어요. 앞으로는 다들 주의하죠.
둘 다 왜 나를 야리냐? 죽고 싶냐? 알았어, 알았다고.
Well, I have these tickets. I should probably use some.
이번 지휘도 부탁드립니다.
With the conflict sorted out, the bus finally departed. Looking out the windows evoked a strange feeling in the passengers.
저 인간들은 얼굴에 근심 하나 없어 보이네.
This is way different from the roads we've been through.
그러고 보니 관리자 양반은 둥지 한복판을 지나오는 건 처음이겠어.
I mean, probably not, but
둥지랑 뒷골목은 수준 차이가 심하죠. 또 둥지마다 저마다의 고유 문화와 역사가 다르고요.
전원 집중. 이번에 갈 목적지는 K사의 칼프 마을이다. 그곳 어딘가에 로보토미 집으로 연결되어 있는 통로가 있다는 정보다.
what terrible human being ends a word on LW? How do you even pronounce that? Galb? Sinclair, you good? As soon as the name Cull was mentioned, Sinclair lapsed into fear once again and started trembling, as if something were coming after him.
하지만 너희들이 전해준 정보대로 제3의 세력들이 이미 그 지부를 점령 중인 상황이다. 그래서 클리어 부서에 추가적인 정찰을 요청했지.
비포팀의 사정관측 3과가 투입되었죠. 에피와 소드 씨도 함께 하셨을 겁니다.
상황이 어떤지 파악이 되면 그쪽에서 먼저 보고를 줄 거다.
Shortly afterward, the bus entered a quiet woodland path leading to the village. Lush green trees rarely found in the back streets began to decorate the street, providing a comforting sight, but that was soon disturbed by something odd. I could see an ominous billow of smoke rise in the distance.
저기 연기가
싱클레어?
카론 꺾어.
회피기둥 덜컹덜컹.
Rumble tumble is not something a bus should be doing. The bus made a sharp turn to the left, shortly before a giant nail flew in and noisily embedded itself in the back window.
어떤 새끼야? 뒤질 뻔했잖아.
이 정도의 가속도로 실험해보진 않았지만 창을 조금 더 튼튼히 덧댈 필요가 있겠군요.
우리를 향해 정확히 조준하고 던진 거다. 아까 비포 팀들이 일컫던 엔사의 직원이겠군.
Apparently they have nail ballistas.
베르, 내 피가 다쳤어. 카론 슬퍼.
멈추지 않으면 더할 기세군. 전원 하차.
Oh, Inquisition. I get it. As we got off the bus, a group stood in the way, clad from head to toe in rusty armor with faded coats of white. That is straight up a crusader.
아 이렇게 말로 하면 될 걸 유리창까지 뚫을 건 뭡니까? 나 참.
선전 보고 없이 공격해놓고는 무례하고 소속이라도 말해야 예의지 않겠나?
우리는 이단 신문관, 불경한 일을 꿰뚫는 못이오. 죄악을 두드려 다스리는 망치다.
인사. 나겔 운트 하모의 직원이라는 걸 어렵게도 말하네요.
Nagel und Hammer. Huh. I could have sworn in German hammer had one M.
못과 망치라고도 불리죠.
지금은 이단 신봉자를 정화하고 있으므로 이 앞을 지나갈 수 없다.
이단? 아이 봐요. 아이 우리는 단지 이곳을 서둘러 지나가고 싶을 뿐입니다. 뭐냐? 관광. 관광 버스라고요.
Why does a tour bus look so much like a train? Labeled as tourists all of a sudden, the sinners exchanged looks in silence. To prevent another disastrous first impression, Gregor was doing what he could, even though his efforts fell flat for the most part, to gently appease the armored crowd, accompanied by an attempt at the kind, harmless smile a tourist would wear.
그래. 저번 광산 때부터 느꼈던 건데 사실 이런 쪽 개그에 욕심 있는 거 아니야?
Why is that spelled Fungan?
그런 거 아니라고.
Rodia, not helping. The quivering corners of his mouth roused pity in my heart.
그렇다면 그대들의 순수성을 증명함이 바르리라.
Oh boy.
아 좋아. 방법을 알려주면 못할 것도 없지.
The Inquisitor suddenly pointed in my direction.
저 불경한 여행자의 머리를 베어내라.
I beg your pardon? Me?
그리고 우리 망치의 앞에 무릎 꿇고 봉헌해라. 그렇다면 그대들은 때묻지 않는 자이며 여정이 불이 있고한
Oh, I see. Encore body purists?
물론 그 불결한 차량도 두고 가야 할 것이다.
보자보자니까 무슨 헛소리야. 야, 아무리 우리가 핫바지처럼 보인다고 해도 그런 걸 들어줄 것 같냐?
Furious, Heathcliff was the first to quit playing as a harmless tourist. Heathcliff, you didn't have to.
가짠치도 않은 것들이 어디서 나보고 무릎을 꿇으란 거야?
The Inquisitor, as was declared to us, nodded in response.
그렇다면 그대들은 이단이다.
With that, the group of Inquisitors moved into position at once, ready to attack. Any passes I should know about when an ally is defeated? Okay. That is some oppressive music, by the way.
내가 시범을 보이지.
Holy shit, Yisung actually dodged something.
머리다.
돌격합니다.
자.
완전한 침묵.
박살내주마.
위협 대상 제거.
다음은 침묵을 안겨줘.
기절했나?
자.
Also, of course the Teutonic Order would be German. Gotta have that Holy Roman Empire representation.
머리통을 박살내주마.
Teutonic, hang on.
머리통을 박살내주마.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
But yeah, Otis is the only one not wearing the outfit everyone else wears in their
다음에도 저희 치마이를 이용해 주세요.
ego attack. And I don't know if that's a hint at anything or not.
이게 옳은 선택일.
I hate how the recommended level keeps going up and down. Getting back on the bus, Vergilius greets us by casually lifting a hand.
상대하기 조금 까다롭진 않았나?
누누이 말하는 거지만 당신이 도와주면 훨씬 빠르게 끝낼 수 있어.
나도 너누이 말하는 거지만 내가 도와주는 건 아무 의미가 없어.
저자들 우리더러
Alright, then speaks in riddles.
대체 뭘 보고 그러는 거죠?
I think they were targeting me.
못과 망치, 경험이야말로 가장 중요한 가치란 말하는 날개.
Did they sense I was an amnesiac? Mersault muttered vaguely. Experience?
인간은 자신의 가치에 맞는 경험과 행동을 할 수 있도록 정해져 있다. 그들은 경험에 대해 그렇게 말합니다.
그것들 우리에게 관리자님의 머리를 내놓으라 했지. 그렇다는 건
그들이 또 온 거예요? 잊지 않았던 거죠? 그렇게 찾아와서.
Sinclair? I think you need to explain what the fuck is up, dude. Sinclair was almost having a fit at this point. Claudia looked at him with pitying eyes, but there was little she could do about it.
베르베르, 소리 나는 상자가 시끄러워.
The sound box is being noisy.
선발대에서 연락이 온 모양이군.
Oh, the radio. Got it. I think Sod might have gotten.
이리 줘. 에피, 여기는 버스다. 거기 상황은 어떤 것 같아?
Something tells me we just lost our advance team.
방금 에피 씨 목소리가 맞았나요? 아니 그보다 사람 목소리이긴 했나요?
바람.
싱클레어, 무슨 소리를 하는 거야?
휘파람 소리가 들렸잖아요. 마지막에 희미하게.
그런 게 들렸었나?
그 자식이 온 거예요. 마침내 우리 마을까지 전부 죽이려고.
Calm down, Sinclair. What do you mean by whistles? And who is this wretched woman?
저를 기다리고 있는 거예요. 그건 저를 부르는 메시지였어요.
Resentful tears were streaming from Sinclair's face as he rambled.
잠깐만요. 저 앞에 아까랑 같은 자들이.
돌아가요.
What?
저희 그냥 돌아가면 안 돼요? 가기 싫어요. 돌아가요, 제발. 이제라도 운전대를 돌려서.
꼬맹이, 대체 왜 그러는 거야? 앞에 뭐가 있는데?
가면 안 돼. 전부 죽을 거야. 돌아가요.
에밀 싱클레어, 쓸데없는 소리를.
Emil Sinclair. Huh. Maybe I should have guessed that these would mostly be last names. Did he just kill Sinclair? Otis was calmly flicking her wrist.
잠깐 기절할 정도로 복부에 충격을 가했을 뿐이다.
Oh, I see.
이번엔 박자가 맞았군. 당신 내가 나설 뻔했어.
겁쟁이들은 전장이 필요 없으니까. 이대로 버스 밖에 버리고 가면 안 되는 건가?
That might be a bit too far.
관리자님께서 그렇게 말씀하신다면.
Alright, Lieutenant Otis, calm down. Otis looked down at Sinclair with a displeased face. Even though he was the timid sort, he's never opposed something so strongly until now. This unprecedented behavior of his bothered me, but I couldn't bring myself to ask him why, as he didn't seem to be in any state to tell me. Soon enough, Sinclair came back to his senses. He stared out the window with vacant eyes. The others are all out fighting.
죄송해요. 저도 갈게요. 짐덩이가 될 순 없으니까.
Yeah, this is definitely about Sinclair's trauma this time. Unfortunately, Sinclair is one of the people I have an identity for, so he is gonna be involved in this. Sorry, Sinclair, blame the extraction.
돌격합니다.
Damn, they staggered Ishmael already. That's not a great start.
돌격합니다.
제법 괜찮나 보.
Well, damage rate it is, except, maybe not entirely. That's pretty rare. That's not all that common. Rainbow rate!
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
위협 대상 제거.
I should have made sure that Gloom actually got in.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
자. 다음은 머리다.
I wonder if me saying Inquisition is reading too much into it or not.
내가 시범을 보이지.
다음은 어디입니까?
Literally everyone made the Inquisition joke. Okay, good. So I'm not entirely crazy. I mean, I am, but not for that reason.
완벽한 임무였어.
Deus Vult, you getting your ass kicked.
이용해 주세요.
I'm getting kind of lucky on these bloody scabbards. Oh look, more Inquisitors. Justified this time. Oh well. Also, thank you, Trilobite Bot.
작살 놓치지 말게.
Not a great start.
돌격합니다.
Can Sinclair do what the E-Sign can't? The answer is no! I swear to god, the evades never work out in my favor. Oh? Huh, that's unusual.
내가 시범을 보이지. 자.
Jesus Christ, what is happening here?
돌격합니다.
An appropriate expletive, I suppose.
머리통을 박살내주마.
위협 대상 제거.
Get mariachi, bitch.
기절했나? 제압 실시. 위협 대상 제거.
머리다. 머리통을 박살내주마.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
I guess she is kind of wearing the outfit under her coat. Like, you can see a small bit of it.
너무 쉽잖아.
I noticed a nail debuff in that. I should probably check out what that actually does. And court nails. Gain 1 bleed, increase bleed count by 1. I see.
머리통을 박살내주마.
I'm sure this is a terrible joke to make, but nailed it. I'm also sure I'm the 1 millionth person to make that joke.
한없이 유쾌했죠.
Silent Night. Holy Night.
옳은 선택일까?
Christ, that was loud. The smoke that was faintly visible through the bus window had covered the whole town.
난장판이네요. 정말. 그런데 어디서 익숙한 노랫소리가 들리는 것 같지 않아요?
나 이 노래 알아. 뭐더라. 눈이 더럽게
Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. When fucking Caron was humming Silent Night. God damn it, Project Moon. I hate you.
전쟁 때 병사들 사기 올린다고 이거 틀 때마다 진짜 힘이 쭉 빠졌는데.
The song evoked various memories in the group. For me, I'm not sure. It's definitely familiar, but it doesn't bring up any clear images in my head, aside from Caron singing it. However, I could still feel a faint splash of feeling from deep in my heart. Maybe I knew this song before I lost my memory. This mist of emotion roused inside me, though. It doesn't feel precious or warm. An ache. An inexplicable sting is what I felt.
맞아요. 그날도
I swear to God, Sinclair's about to distort on us.
이렇게 눈이 쌓여 있고 노래가 들리던.
The trees before us were decorated with trim ornaments. All sorts of internal organs and mechanical parts were hung from the branches, as if someone put some people's innards on full display.
이건 너무 지독한 거 아니야?
클래시. 아니, 기치하군.
근방에 생존자는 없다.
Then, everything finally fell into place. It's just like... There's a fucking nail in the... Why is that thing still operational? A piercing sound caused the group to cover their ears. And Noel, that's French Christmas. Why is it French Christmas? I thought this was a German corp. Isn't Christmas still a fair way off? About 11 months, in fact. Or 10 months? How does that work exactly? Remember, Result is French, so N-Corp has both. I guess that's fair.
네, 한참이죠.
내 이름은 크로머. 순수를 사랑하는 파괴주의자, 그리고 망치를 치는 자.
I'm kind of reminded of the ending of Library of Ruina, actually. Silent Girl. I wonder if this is relevant.
이곳을 어떻게 넘어왔는지는 모르겠지만 너희는 지금 사유지를 침범 중이지. 왜냐하면 여긴 보다시피 목과 망치가 심판 중인 신성한 구역이거든. 내 장식이 마음에 들려나 모르겠네. 뭐 길은 잘못 들어왔다 치고 지금이라도 얌전히 돌아가주면 너그럽게 벌금만 매겨주지. 왜냐하면 오늘은 성탄절이니까. 아, 그 전에 잠깐. 거기 귀도 있어?
Who the fuck is Guido? That's not a French or a German name.
이곳에 있나니?
Oh, hi.
혹시 말이야. 거기에 이단이 있나?
The massive man named Guido, who responded to her, turns to us. He intently stares into each of us until his eyes fall upon me. He gazes at me for a very long time. Although he was wearing a mask, those eyes of his, they froze us completely still, as if his glare nailed us to the ground.
순수하지 아니한 자와 그들의 추종꾼이 함께합니다.
I still want an explanation for what makes up purity. Is it the amnesia? Because it kind of sounds like it's the amnesia.
그리고 말씀하신 그 아이도
뭐야, 내 싱클레어가 돌아왔어? 날 보러 와, 싱클레어. 난 네가 알던 그곳에 있어.
I swear to God, if even a single one of you acts surprised at this, I am going to slap you. I can hear Sinclair grinding and gnashing his teeth. He made a dreadful noise. I couldn't be sure if it was from hatred or fear.
나머지는 처리의 기도 아니면 내가 나서야 하나? 그래도 되는데.
지는 자께서는 불순한 것을 두드리는 일에 집중하소서.
Oh, one who crypt. I'm sorry, but I cannot take that title seriously. Like... God, she rivals the green cackle. A number of Inquisitors gathered around Kido. He stands firm behind them. He's not making any movements, but his presence alone is threatening enough. An intense aura of hostility was radiating straight from him.
머리통을 박살내주마.
What are these guys weak to, actually? Just blunt. Are they all compliant, or some of them are servile? I sure love it when they have seemingly insignificant differences between them. I also love it when 3/4 of my fucking attacks are getting their ass kicked.
제압 실시.
What does it mean to be human?
돌격합니다.
I mean...
허점을 찾았습니다.
In this city, that is a good question, but I would still like an explanation for what exactly I have done wrong. Like, are they body purists? Also, dear God, these guys are hopeless.
내가 시범을 보이지. 이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
I didn't notice the paralyzers.
느꼈나?
완전한 침묵.
And of course, Sinclair gets himself paralyzed.
제압 실시.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
위협 대상 제거.
내가 시범을 보이지.
공격.
That's gonna suck.
위협 대상 제거.
다음은 완전한 침묵.
다음은 머리다.
Guido the Persistent. I'm sure that name will not be annoying with a name like that. And as usual, Rhodia continues to let me down. In fact, just shield it, Rhodia.
제압 실시.
나의 손으로 잘라낼 수 있다면 공격. 공격.
제압 실시.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
완전한 침묵.
Ole!
자,
모자랐나?
Right, is there actually anything special about it? Attack power up, damage up, all heal allies heal 10 SP. Let's kick this guy's ass. I kinda hate how I can't really tell about some of these if they're good or bad odds because of the way they're lined out.
내가 시범을 보이지.
You are about to get staggered.
여행에는 목적이 있었지.
And now you die. I can also mouse over the enemy shield in order to see what is clashing with them. Yeah, but I feel like that's less relevant. Did he just run away?
힘든 상대였어요. 저자가 완전히 정신을 차리기 전에 우선 도망치죠.
수치스러운 소리를 잘도 짓거리는군. 승기를 잡은 군인은 적을 두고 꽁무니를 빼지 않는다.
지금 군인 정신이 중요할 때예요?
Ishmael is right. That's not someone we can beat easily.
철수하겠습니다.
Otis, I don't know what her deal is exactly, but she seems to have some extreme seemingly extreme reverence for what the manager says for some reason. Otis reluctantly backed down. Sinclair, do you know what that Cromer meant by that familiar spot? I don't know if he's in a state to be helpful. Sinclair shook. He was seemingly overwhelmed with dread. But I could also see a teeth-grinding anger in him that surpassed his fear. Looking at him, a thought blossomed in my mind. You need to talk, Sinclair. Tell us what you know, and you'll prevent half the deaths we might suffer.
작전의 성공률도 올라간다. 효과적인 정보를 기대하지.
Otis? Shut up. I hope I'm doing the right thing as the manager. Sinclair shook his head upon hearing my words, breathed in, and finally opened his mouth after some struggle.
우리 집이요. 크로머는 분명 그곳에 있을 거예요.
And if one of you even utters a bit of surprise, I am going to punch you.
너 그 자식이랑 아는 사이였냐? 아, 젠장. 하도 귀가 찢어질 듯 웃어대서 머리가 다 지끈거리네.
학교에서 만났어요.
저런, 혹시 친구였어? 친구라면 잘 타일렀으면 좋겠는데.
친구 아니에요. 크로머는 우리 가족들을 죽였어요.
Rodion, I'm gonna punch you.
미안해.
Seriously. A prosthetic head hanging from a tree slowly turned to faces. Lights and sparks occasionally flickered within. Oh, for fuck's sake.
싱클레어, 이웃들이야?
Rodia asked while looking at the dismembered prosthesis.
그런 것 같아요. 아니었으면 좋겠지만요.
Sinclair replied, watching with a grim look on his face as their bare wires and sparked and short-circuited. The robotic head soon stopped moving, only emitting discordant things. Then, a song begins to fill the air. All the heads hung from the trees are singing the same song. The carol leaking through the vocal units of so many lifeless heads lands on the flames below.
이들에게 이단이란 건 역시 의체 보유자를 말하는 것이군요.
도시의 의체 보유자들이 보이게 된 지 꽤 오랜 시간이 흘렀지만 여전히 그들의 모습을 보고 이질감을 느끼는 사람들은 많죠.
저희 마을은 K사 의체 산업의 성지라고 불릴 정도로 주민 대부분이 하이엔드 의체 부품 제작에 종사하고 있었어요. 크로마는 오래전부터 계속 우리 마을을 주시했던 거예요.
네 가족도...
네. 저희 아버지는 신생 의체 회사의 대표였어요. 그래서...
아니, 제가 보기엔 이자들에게 그런 거창한 사상 따위는 없어요. 그냥 광기와 폭력에 매료된 미치광이죠.
Ishmael asserted to it. After a while of staring at the Christmas trees decorated with his neighbors, Sinclair turned to me.
관리자님, 예전부터 여쭤보고 싶었던 게 있어요.
What is it?
기분이 어떠세요?
Feel?
네. 머리 대신 의체를 달고 있는 기분이 어떠냐고요.
I was a little taken aback since I've never had anyone ask that kind of question before. The issue is that there's no way to know how I might have felt before I got a clock for a head. That's...
따지려 드는 게 아니라요. 무례한 질문이었겠죠? 죄송해요.
No need. It's alright. The other sinners were a billion times ruder to me with their daily interactions, anyway. I'm afraid I can't answer that. I don't remember a single thing about my life before this clock.
그러시군요. 항상 궁금했어요. 머리 대신 다른 것이 자리를 잡았을 때의 기분은 어떤지. 가족들은 모자를 쓰고 시계를 걸치는 것과 다를 바 없다고 말했지만 저는 아무리 떠올리려고 해도 잘 상상이 되지 않더라고요. 그 덕에 저만 유일하게 살아남았지만요.
I'm sure the procedure seemed terrifying at such a young age. You don't have to feel guilty about that.
아니에요. 그런 게 아니에요. 전 단테 씨 생각처럼 그렇게 무고한 사람이 아니에요.
Oh, I see. I see where this is going. Sinclair quietly hung his head. I racked my brains for an appropriate reply, but no suitable words of comfort came up. Only the unpleasant sounds of sparks and flames filled the street.
깔끔한 전투였어요. 적의 모든 급소를 파악했거든요.
Jesus, man!
이번 지휘도 부탁드립니다.
제압 실시. 제압 실시.
돌격합니다.
I may need to dig deeper into my pile of tickets if this is how things are gonna go.
박살내주마.
Well, someone died.
돌격합니다.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
이런.
돌격합니다. 다음은 어디입니까?
내 항해가 여기서 끝나는 건가?
제압 실시. 이런.
Well, it's a good thing I have a pile of tickets, because I think I might need it.
선체에 파손된 부위가 너무 많소. 정박하고 수리하세.
At least I get most of my encapsulin back.
될 것이오.
Whoa, that's perhaps a little bit extreme. Thank God for my grinding off camera, because Jesus Christ. I may also need to actually take you up on that support identity. If this proves to be insufficient.
목표인가요? 손쉽죠.
Well, that's not encouraging.
돌격합니다.
Why is it always Ishmael getting hopeless?
돌격합니다.
머리통을 박살내주마.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게. 다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
Get him, Ishmael!
자, 다음에는 머리다.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
I don't have too long to the dungeon. I know, but... Smash. I gotta say, those 2 extra levels do seem to have made a difference.
내가 시범을 보이지. 다음에는 머리다.
기업 대상 제거.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
깔끔한 전투였어요. 적의 모든 급소를 파악했거든요.
Purification, and the level thing went back down.
임무 시작.
Gotta say, Project Moon, that is quite annoying. Prosthetic bodies pile up like a landfill in a corner of the town. I could see that some of them were still conscious, letting out pained moans. The Inquisitors paid no heed. They strenuously jammed nails through each of their victims' chests, over and over, executing their pure intent.
심장을 꿰뚫었을 텐데 신체는 아직도 박동합니다.
필시 철로 덧댄 심장일 것이다. 인간의 본연되는 부분조차 이단으로 물들었군. 불결하도다. 살과 뼈를 모독하고 있는 모습이라니.
The Inquisitor began carefully pouring a bottle of liquid over the prosthetic person in what looked like a solemn ritual. Judging from the pungent smell, it was most certainly oil.
사람의 기름을 머금거라. 이단의 시체여. 불구로도 돌아가지 못하는 자, 연기로 남아 흩어져라.
A lit match was then thrown on the pile, letting arise a huge flame. With the sounds of sparks flying about, the air is soon filled with an acrid smell. It's not quite like the smell of burning flesh. The spreading fire finally brings a crackling glimmer in those prosthetic bodies to permanent darkness.
이 브롬은 정화를 말하면서 지옥을 창조해 놓았군요.
목과 망치는 언제나 인간성을 해석하는 데 몰두하고 있었다. 고통도 응당 겪어야 하는 경험이라며 의체를 달고 있는 인간을 비난하던 자들도 있었지. 이렇게 행동으로 드러냈던 적은 없었지만
아니, 아까부터 들었던 생각인데 왜 그렇게 엔사에 대해 빠삭한 거야 당신?
내가 엔사 직원이었으니까.
어? 아니 저것들하고 같이 일했다고?
저들과 같이 일한 적은 없지만 소속의 관점에서 본다면 그렇다.
Come to think of it, this might be the first time I've heard Mersault actively talk about himself. He would rarely recount anything related to him, but perhaps he felt it wasn't necessary to speak at all.
왜 진작 말하지 않은 거야? 그럼 당신도 저런 괴상한 무기를 지니고 다녔어?
So I can't help but notice Mersault has a gauntlet here that I don't think is just a gauntlet.
굳이 이야기할 필요가 있나?
뭐? 야, 그럼 내가 너랑 저 새끼들이 같은 편인지 아닌지 어떻게 구분해야 하냐?
Heathcliff, must I point out the obvious?
난 말이야. 관리자 저놈의 시계대가리라고 부르고는 있어도 머리를 자르고 불태워도 싼 놈이라고는 생각하지 않아. 말만 번지르르하게 정환이 뭐니 하고 있어도 내 눈엔 그냥 사람 죽일 명분이 필요했던 미친놈들이 보일 뿐이거든. 말해봐, 너도 저 새끼들이랑 똑같냐?
그런 것에 대해 생각하던 시기도 있었지. 같은지 다른지 답을 내놓지는 않았지만.
그럼 지금이라도 답을 내놓아보란 말이야. 넌 관리자 놈이 명령이랍시고 마을 사람들의 모조리 쳐잡아 죽이라고 하면 그대로 따를 셈이야?
꼭 답을 내놓아야만 하나. 그 일이 업무를 처리함에 있어서 도움을 주진 않는다.
Okay, you two shut the fuck up.
사원은 명령에 따라 움직이는 것이 규칙이다. 베르길리우스, 그자가 내놓은 취업 규칙에도 적혀 있을 텐데 관리자가 행하라고 하면 행할 뿐이다. 내 생각이 필요하다고 말하면 제공하겠지만 그럴 필요도 없는 상황에서 나불대는 버릇은 없다.
뭐? 너 돌았냐? 너야말로 머리를 깡통으로 교체한 놈들이랑 별반 차이가 없어 보이는데?
단백질이 16%, 수분이 60%, 무기질 7%로 구성되어 있다는 점에선 명확한 차이를 띠지. 또한 불필요한 중금속은
Thanks, Mersault.
해당하지 않는다.
Unnecessary heavy metals do not compromise any portion of my body. So this is just a gauntlet then.
그 또한 차이다.
Heathcliff's face contorted with frustration. Mersault was already an enigma, and he only felt ever more distant after this conversation.
하지만 전 예전부터 쭉 궁금하긴 했어요. 단테님을 정말 인간으로 봐야 할지 말이에요.
Honglu, not the time.
그게 무슨 소리지?
그러니까 단테 씨가 말하는 건 단테 씨가 아니라 저 시계일 수도 있다는 거 아닌가요?
뭐? 우리가 진짜 시계 따위한테 명령받고 있었다고?
정말 멍청한 발언들이네요. 반박할 의욕도 안 생겨요.
I'm with Ishmael.
그래도 전 지금 시계 머리를 한 단테 씨가 좋아요.
나도 그래. 그냥 머리를 되찾지 말고 평생 이 머리대로 있으면 안 돼?
Armadillan, give me strength.
진짜 머리를 되찾은 단테가 갑자기 엄청 못된 놈이었다거나 하면 어떡해?
By the way, why do we assume that my real head still exists? Like, wouldn't it have decayed by now? Unless it's being stored somewhere, and in that case, why the fuck is it being stored somewhere? Gregor's eyes naturally fell on Faust.
그 부분에 관해선 기밀 사항이에요. 심지어 보안 등급 최상이죠.
And I get the feeling I won't be able to read it for myself. It's only natural. I have no idea who or what I originally was, so I had nothing at my disposal to refute Hung Lu's light-hearted accusation. Maybe he's right, and I really am just a clock. Even if I asked Faust, there's no telling if she'll give me a real answer, and I wouldn't be able to discern the truth in such a thing either. There's even a slim chance that the real Dante is hidden away somewhere, and that I'm some advanced imitation trained to believe I have free will. In any case, sitting here and ruminating won't get me anywhere. Who knows, maybe I'll mount this thing on the wall when I find my real head. Ishmael sent me a chastising glare for even suggesting something like that, but she had no choice other than to shrug. Well, it is true. I mean, it is a clock, you generally hang those on walls, I don't see the problem.
내가 시범을 보이지.
Early staggers, encouraging.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
머리통을 박살내주마.
제압 실시.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
But yeah, Valen, these Encore people kind of remind me of a certain abnormality that you encounter very late in Library of Ruina, and I feel like there might be a relation there that is more than just allegorical.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
여행엔 목적이 있었지. 공격 다음은 어디입니까?
It would be funny if that was actually a secret way of beating that phase of that fight, just by returning everyone to librarian form. I'm not gonna try it because Jesus Christ, that would take forever. Oh shit, I'm out of enkephalin. Oh, that's what the boxes are for.
목표인가요? 손쉽죠.
이제 어떡할까요? 지금 저희가 조용히 이동하기만 하면 다른 신문관들에겐 들키지 않고 지나갈 수 있어요.
단테 씨, 저 미리 죄송해요. 아시다시피 저는 다른 분들처럼 전투에 많은 경험이 없어요. 그래서 저놈들에게 계속해서 심장이 뚫리게 될 수도 있어요. 그래도 버텨주실 수 있나요?
Sinclair was trembling so badly that it'd be pitiful for anyone to witness. I could tell he was desperately trying to suppress his fear. It wouldn't be the first time Sinclair has died. Whenever he bit the dust, I made sure to bring him back. But today, he's newly asking for my understanding. He looked determined to confront them directly, even if it means he'll die again and again. A feeling quite unlike the fright the usual battle evokes. Maybe he is holding the kind of fear that comes with a certain courage. In that case, are you scared, Sinclair? Sinclair suddenly turned around and gave me a startled look. Did I say something weird?
아니요. 오래전에 같은 걸 물어보았던 친구가.
Sinclair opened his mouth after a brief pause. His voice cracked.
전 히스클리프 씨 말에 동의해요. 의체 머리를 가지고 있어도 단테 씨라는 사람이 달라지는 건 없었을 거예요. 그리고 우리 가족들도 마찬가지였겠죠.
Thanks, Sinclair.
아니에요. 이제부터 질리도록 죽을 테니 너무 고마워하시면 제가 불편해요.
Just as I realized that I forgot to ask what he said in response to the same question his friend had, Sinclair had already charged into the fray. I'm gonna have to go over. Oh well. Once again, Ishmael cannot win a clash to save her life.
내가 시범을 보이지.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I can spare it.
다음에는 머리다.
I'd rather properly get to the dungeon than have to have a weird timing setup next time.
돌격합니다.
완전한 침묵.
Kinda ashamed that I can't send Ishmael in with Eugen's passive of just starting the fight with 25% health.
내가 시범을 보이지.
완전한 침묵.
위협 대상 제거.
Man, how did their sanity get so high?
그 누구도 볼 수 없다.
제법 지쳤나 보.
Yi Song is mad.
제압 실시.
너무 좋네요. 다음은 어디입니까?
자.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
위협 대상 제거.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
I do gotta say, when there's one straggler, it does take a while for everyone's skills to go through in sequence. Also, holy shit, Otis.
너무 쉽잖아.
완벽한 임무였어. 다음에도 저희 추바이를 이용해 주세요.
Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't failed any exclude. Oh shit. Yeah. Bonfire. And we're back to level 25. Sinclair's home was the largest mansion in the neighborhood, standing at the innermost part of town, because of course. One could see from a distance that a huge flame was engulfing the estate. I took a moment to try and imagine what this town could have looked like during its peaceful times. To bring to mind the times when the trees we saw near the town still had lush for the leaves. How Sinclair would have been during those times, or when everyone around him had died. I couldn't paint a clear picture of either happiness or despair. Nonetheless, I only hope that Sinclair can brace himself for the misfortune he'll soon have to face.
심하네요. 이건.
A courtyard that could have once been a vast, flourishing garden was now full of nails erected tall. A variety of prosthetic bodies were pierced by those towering nails, and the house that was enveloped in ferocious flame, ready to consume everything around it. While everyone's attention was drawn to the prostheses, Sinclair's eyes drifted to a corner of the yard.
무덤들이 파헤쳐져 있어.
Following his gaze, I could see 3 graves that were violated. Sinclair's expressions alone was enough for me and all the other sinners to guess who they were for.
보관 잠수함이 마귀가 따로 없구려.
Holy shit, Yi Sang says something. Father, mother, and sister. The family he mentioned. That's where they should be resting.
거수자 한 명. 전방이다.
휘파람 소리.
아니, 아무리 생각해도 너무 웃기잖아.
Someone walked out of the burning household. Her laugh was simply sinister in every way imaginable.
썩지도 않는 몸뚱이들을
Holy shit!
밀어넣는 거 말이야. 그치?
She looks perfectly sane.
그놈아.
그래도 여기 꼬챙이들 중에 잘 찾아보면 찾을 수 있을 거야. 내가 어디에 꽂아놓긴 했거든. 내 말 잘 들으면 위치를 알려줄 수도 있는데. 어때, 싱클레어? 여기까지 찾아오다니 많이 용감해진 것 같은데? 시체들을 쳐다볼 용기도 기르고 온 거 맞지?
대체 이렇게
Sinclair couldn't even speak properly. Neither can I, apparently.
비포 팀들은 어디 간 거지? 이 지점까지 왔다면 모습을 보일 정도는 되었는데.
아, 싱클레어 친구들. 같이 숨어들어온 다른 쥐새끼들을 쳤나봐. 좋아, 좋아. 잘 봐. 내가 조명을 켜줄 테니까 눈 크게 뜨고.
I mean, Effie was barely breathing. His limbs had been cut away and deformed prosthetics were crudely lodged in their place. He was too mutilated to even speak a single word.
저대로라면 온전히 사망까지 걸리는 기간은 평균적으로 이틀이에요. 장대에 서서히 꽂히면서 고통은 배가 되겠죠.
Then
관리자님, 저는 사람을 최대한 고통 없이 보낼 방법을 알고 있습니다. 쓰였던 적이 많은 기술이라 말이죠. 명령을 요청해도 되겠습니까?
I looked to both Gregor and Ishmael. They gazed back at me and, as if in acknowledgement, dropped their heads low and bit their lips. I understood what that meant.
편해지도록.
The collar of Otis's clothes brushed against the wind. Then silence, and it's then broken by Cromer's roaring laughter. Valen, is it just me, or did she become like 150% wider than she was in that other shot? At the same time, I could hear something else break.
어차피 다 같은 꼴이 될 텐데 챙겨주는 꼴 진짜 웃긴다. 싱클레어, 이러니까 옛날 생각나지 않아? 그때 네 표정도 진짜 볼만했었는데.
크로마, 너는 죽어야만 해. 그게 맞는 것 같아. 너는 내 손에.
He was interrupted by the sound of a nail dragging across the floor.
궤도라는 작자군.
Fucking... Did they just make a fucking pyramid head reference? We thought we had felled him with our best, but not a scratch was on his body now. It was as if all of his injuries healed in that short time. Fucking K-Corp! Seeing him walk towards us in perfect condition fatigued the sinners. Rendered speechless, all they can muster from their hearts is a deep groan of contempt.
기도, 나머지는 왜 처리를 못한 거야?
용서하십시오, 지는 자시여. 제가 미력하였기에.
항상 경계해야 해. 저 망할 철판떼기 머리에는 뭐가 숨겨져 있을지 알 수 없거든.
명심하겠습니다, 쥐는 자시여.
재회는 끝났으니까 나는 다시 돌아간다.
Cromer turns around to walk into the burning mansion.
크로마! 돌아와! 내가 널 이 손으로 쥐어잡고!
아니지, 싱클레어. 항상 그랬지만.
A long smirk dances across Cromer's entire face. It's hard to tell if it's the violent blaze or Cromer's vice that is consuming the other. And then
쥐는 건 나야.
돌격합니다. 자. 돌격합니다.
well, that was unsettling. It was so unsettling that I forgot the word unsettling.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게. 그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
All that sanity they got from somewhere sure is being a problem.
내가 시범을 보이지. 이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
Stop fucking whistling.
내가 시범을 보이지.
이런
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠.
내가 시범을 보이지.
여행엔 목적이 있었지. 다음은 어디입니까?
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
그 자식은 아직 살아있을 거야.
다음은 침묵을 안겨드리죠. 완전한 침묵.
머리통을 박살내주마.
Altus is pulling some bleed sack from somewhere, and I'm not entirely sure where. Or maybe I'm just imagining things. And then Zwei Rodion has killed herself. This is not going well. I mean, I guess it is fair that to save from nails. I was just making an idle comment that it always seems to be her for some reason. Yeah, this is over.
내 항해가 여기서 끝나는 건가?
제가 지나치게 빨랐던
At least you get most of your energy back if you lose. Let's see. I mean, what is this kind of yell the woman out? How does the sport thing work again? Wait, am I stupid or am I missing something? Oh, it has to be a story node. I guess that does make sense. Well, I'm sure this is complete overkill. I am kind of tired of being level gated.
놓치지 말게.
Yeah, we've seen this.
머리통을 박살내주마. 다음엔 머리다. 머리통을 박살내주마. 장발장자.
What does the whistling actually do? We shall fear not, for the one who crits is with us. Is there a passive associated with that? Nope. I figured there wouldn't be, but, you know, always nice to check.
완벽한 한방 위해 당신이라 고통은 없어.
내가 시범을 보이지.
Damn it, Sinclair!
제압 실시.
당신 고통은 없어.
Wait, who died? Oh shit, Sinclair died. That's unideal.
그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
I could have thrown Otis as a solo. I'm sure I could have.
위협 대상 제거.
But I'm not sure if there would have been any benefit to it. Other than showing off how much easier it is when you have a level 50 character available. Would it have been quicker? Like, does the fight actually get easier if you don't have people around?
제압 실시.
True. But I don't know, it would have felt a bit cheap, maybe.
제압 실시. 모든 걸 걷어들일 순 없었어.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
So I've noticed Otis's ego setup is very blue. Is there a particular reason for that, or is that just a coincidence?
위협 대상 제거. 자, 기절했나? 위협 대상 제거.
내가 시범을 보이지.
일발 장전.
기절했나? 위협 대상 제거.
Yeah, I mean, I identified the thing. I'm just wondering if there's a reason why you've set her up that way, because I'm sure you have options.
위협 대상 제거.
탄환은 계속해서 만들어지고 방아쇠도 계속해서 당겨질 겁니다.
Scheiterhaufen. For that, because 2 of the 3 skills on that identity is blue. I mean, I get it. I'm just not sure what the benefit of having, like,
흔들어 보죠.
matching egos with your identity is. You know what? Since you say that your supports can solo this, let's try it out. Well, he's lost it. Sinclair leapt forth to chase Cromer before anyone could stop him. However, he's blocked by the remaining N-Corp Inquisitors. In response, he swings his weapon with a tremendous force I had never thought he could exert, crushing the head of the one who grabbed him. The Inquisitor collapses to the ground before even a gasp could escape their mouth. Sinclair would normally keep to the back of our group. This was the first time I saw him charge in unprompted like that.
뭐야? 너 이럴 거면 왜 여태껏 뒤에서 꼼지락거렸냐? 본인은 그대들의 숨을 멎게 한 기억이 분명하게 있다. 두개골의 틈새로 흘러나온 뇌 조각을 똑똑히 보았다. 그러나 그대 이단들은 지금 땅을 밟고 본인의 앞에 서 있군.
오히려 터무니없이 멀쩡히 서 있는 건 그쪽 같은데.
Guido examines me closely with his piercing glaze. He then slowly nods as if his observation gave him the knowledge he needed.
이단의 머리인자여, 필시 귀하가 신봉자들을 현혹시키고 있는 것이 틀림.
He proceeds to nudge his chin at the nailed corpses in the courtyard.
저자들은 불결한 몸으로 신성의식의 중심지에 침입을 하는 대죄를 저질렀다. 그리하여 이단과 동일한 처벌을 가했다. 스스로의 의지 없이 기계라는 이물을 몸에 틀어박은 지옥도 겪게 했다. 하지만 그대들은 다르다. 이단을 신봉하던 죄는 이단의 죄보다는 경하다. 하여 그대들이 참회하고자 하고 마음을 씻어낼 수 있다면 우리 망치는 그대들을 용서할 용의가 있다. 그러니 유혹을 마주한 불쌍하고 어리석은 죄인이여, 그 거짓된 기적을 뿌리치고 빠져나와 내 앞에 무릎을 놓이도록 하여라.
You know, kneeling before someone with a hammer is generally a bad idea. Confrontation came to a standstill. No one seemed willing to speak first. So you've all been under my spell or something all along? Who would have thought that? I tried cracking a joke to lighten the mood a little, but no one laughed.
단테 씨, 저자의 말은 당신을 모욕한 거잖아요. 인간 취급도 안 하는 거라고요.
I mean, you guys call me clockface all the time too.
그거랑 다르잖아요. 심지어 저는 그렇게 부르지도 않았.
Ishmael grunted.
그럴듯한 말만 대충 질러버리면 다 되는 줄 아나 본데. 빠져나와야 할 놈은 너야 가면지.
Faceplate.
머리가 멀쩡하게 달려 있는데도 그런 생각을 하냐? 기회는 충분하게 제공하였다. 그대들 또한 매달리고 꿰뚫린 자들과 다를 바 없군. 나는 망치, 지는 자께 충성하여 이단의 몸을 꿰뚫는 대업을 맞는 도구. 내 너희를 못에 꿰어 흙에서 가장 먼 곳에 위치하게 하리라. 죄를 참회하지 않는 자. 야, 그 개같이 긴 시비는 언제 끝나냐? 흙으로도 돌아가지 못하리라.
Greetings, Lord Starlight. How are you? Welcome to the Strange Town. I feel like countering might be better. I also probably fucked up.
비켜주시면 안 돼요?
Alright, that's not how that works. You just finished count report, so yeah. Huh. I feel like I may have misunderstood how... I have a friend trying to guide me through this, and I feel like I may have misunderstood how things work. Well, that went poorly. Yeah, I know.
힘만 잡.
모두 돌격 준비 완료.
다음 배송지는
Yeah, we've all heard this. Unfortunately, I feel like what most of the rest are gonna be doing is eating hits. So yeah, I'm fairly new to this game, so I'm just mostly going off one of my... You hate when... Don't we all, friend, don't we all. Getting XCOM'd is the worst.
내가 시범을 보이지.
지역 대상 제거.
비켜주시면 안 돼요? 비켜주시면 안 돼요?
Fuck off with that whistling, man.
제압 실시.
If you could please hurt Ishmael a moderate amount, that would be appreciated. But yeah, I'm one of those rare Project Moon fans who actually played the games in order, so yeah, suffering is magic is kind of as much as I really understand, so I don't...
내가 시범을 보이지. 비켜달라고 했잖아요.
Unfortunately, in this case, the suffering includes my suffering.
내가 시범을 보이지. 비켜주시면 안 돼요? 공격!
You gotta flip tails eventually, friend.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
Yeah, I can tell that much. Then again, so was Library of Ruina, so... I am kind of used to it. Well, this, why are you getting your ass kicked?
제압 실시.
비켜주시면 안 돼요?
여행에는 목적이 있었지.
비켜주시면 안 돼요?
Honestly, I am very much using one of my friend's level 50 characters as a crutch. And I make no excuses for it. If Sinclair explodes, use Faust instead. Got it. Color fix it, gotcha. Oh god. I mean, this might be something really stupid to say, but there was the Book of the Red Mist. The counter is giving him SP damage. You know what? I hadn't even realized that would be a thing, but that does make sense. Alright, smash. It is kind of interesting too. So far they've been creating ID based off Syndicate, Corporation, and Ego. Fixers will be well, there are some fix-it offices that they've been making IDs of, like they've done Full Stop recently. The ground shook as Guido finally fell. Is that how you guys say that? I say that as Guido. I couldn't help but wonder if we really did him in, yet we were too exhausted to bother and take his helmet off to check his breathing. Sinclair was repeatedly jabbing his spear into a dead Inquisitor. The corpse was mangled beyond recognition, its blood and organs spilling all over the floor.
Sinclair, 진정해.
He didn't seem to care about anything other than the body he was set out to destroy. Occasional pants of rage and tearful gasps were all that came out of his mouth. Well, he's lost it, fellas. I knew stopping him was the right thing to do, but no one dared to step in. It was evident that he was too blinded by ire to listen to us. Don? God damn it, no! At that, Don Quixote suddenly jumped Sinclair and pinned him to the ground. Blue reverberation, black silence, purple terror, red mist. Oh god! First of all, Don Quixote would have a heart attack. Secondly, blue reverberation is proper dead. Yeah, I don't know how the identities work exactly. And then she started laying into his face, one fist thrown after the other.
이거 말려야 하는 거 아니야?
냅둬. 분내나는 싸움 따위.
A cloud of dust rose from her ruthless beating. After a while, Don Quixote cut her onslaught.
어떤가? 정신이 좀 드는가?
Basically glorified poise. What do you mean?
미안하네. 나도 종종 흥분이 몸을 잠식하면 곱비 잃은 말처럼 날뛰곤 했지. 그럴 때는 내 예친구들이 정신 차릴 때까지 나를 두들겨 패곤 했다네.
Yeah, I know what poise is. I'm just not sure what you're referring to as glorified poise.
그렇게 해야만 정신이 드는 때도 있는 것 같더군.
아하, 그러니까 베르길리우스 씨하고도 친구 관계라는 거죠?
God damn it, Ishmael. He doesn't look too good. Tears blinked down from Sinclair's bruised eyes.
가만두지 않겠어. 우리 집으로 가서 그 개새끼한테 말똥을 쑤셔 넣을 거예요. 그런 다음은
The rest of his sentence was overrun with pained sobbing. After a while of sniffling, Sinclair finally seemed to calm down as he put a hand to his face and started muttering.
하루아침에 모든 걸 잃었어요. 그때는 저들이 못과 망치라는 이름을 내세우지도 않았고 저렇게 많은 인원으로 공공연히 다니지도 않았어요. 하지만 언제부터인지 자기들을 망치라고 하는 자들이 하나둘씩 마을에 들어서더니
됐어, 꼬맹이. 거기까지면 됐어.
Rodiak gently pat him on the back.
아직도 생각하곤 해요. 나쁜 꿈 속에서 아직 깨지 못하고 있는 건 아닐까? 매일 아침마다 잠에서 깨서 눈을 뜨기 전에 항상 이번만큼은 익숙한 우리 집의 천장이 나오지 않을까?
After he said that, he broke into tears. It only made sense to wait for him to settle down. Oh, the vibration effect. Yeah, okay, now I'm getting it. From blue reverberation, you mean? I missed an EX somewhere. Oh well. Oh shit, I'm out of enkephalin again. Well, that's why the game gives me free boxes. Let's see. I mean, Vay does have a point if I'm gonna be using its support anyway.
따라가겠어요.
힘은 잡
모두 쌍들.
돌격 준비 완료.
목표인가요? 손쉽죠.
돌격합니다.
기절했나?
Still haven't got a Faust Eagle yet, that makes the game easier. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not that informed on the history of this game. I've been avoiding it for a while, and I haven't been in the fandom for that long. So, I don't know about a whole lot of things.
제압 완료. 그 누구도 볼 수 없게.
탈출 개체가 정리되었습니다. 개체가 약화되는 것 같습니다.
기업 대상 제거.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
탈출 개체 확인. 개체가 약화되는 것 같습니다. 탈출 개체가 정리되었습니다.
But honestly, I would be surprised if they actually do color fix their egos. Like, I mean, thank you, Trilobadbot.
완료. 경보에는 익숙해지시는 게 좋을 겁니다. 아직 50일까지 많은 날이 남은 것을.
Yeah, I know that much that this game is set after Ruina. Like, it seems kind of evident also that there is some kind of equivalent, at least aspirant L-Corp.
이번 지휘도 부탁드립니다.
I'm just saying I've missed out on most of the egos and identities and things like that. We entered the Chart Mansion, and Sinclair led us to the basement. When he opened the door, a long underpass leading to an unknown destination was revealed to us. To think there'd be a tunnel down here.
아마 제 짐작이 맞는다면 이 통로가
지하실에 대체 왜 이런 수상한 통로가 있는 거야?
원래는 없었어요.
뭐? 그럼 우릴 어떻게 알고 지하실로 안내한 건데?
나침반이 북쪽 방향에 이끌리듯이 그냥 느낌으로 알 수 있었던 것뿐이에요.
I mean, also, if you're looking for a buried facility, going to a basement might be a good place to start. Apparently the library event seems to be redacted stuff, since not much people, unless they're a high-grade fixer. To be honest, that does make sense. I mean, the library was literally pushed out of the city by A-Corp. Like, it's an impurity of the city that would get redacted.
그거 아니었나요? 저희를 가지를 향한 나침반으로 쓰려고 데리고 다니는 거.
Sinclair quietly looked at Faust. Instead of answering him, she strode past him and stood before the door.
재질을 보아하니 비교적 최근에 만들어진 것 같군요. 아마 엔사의 파견원들이 이곳을 점령하며 만들어 놓았겠죠. 짧은 길은 아닐 거예요. 그들만을 위한 통로인 만큼 적들을 마주칠 가능성도 다 준비되었으면 출발하죠. 그렇게 쳐다보지 마세요, 단테. 저는 아무 말도 할 수 없을 뿐이에요.
But the things I understand most is that Vergilius is kind of being a jerk constantly, and Otis is the most sus person in the universe. That's as far as my understanding goes. I mean, there are some insights I actually have, but those are the funniest things to bring up. Also, I'm surrounded by idiots, and I am apparently an idiot.
돌격합니다.
Oh, yeah. I have been told about that meme. I mean, the red gaze itself seems to be genuine, if nothing else.
내가 시범을 보이지. 기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
So it is kind of hard to completely accuse him of being a fraud on that basis.
제압 실시.
What he is, though, is a complete asshole. Fighting off empowered Targalia for a week straight and winning. I don't know how you figured that took an entire week. I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm just not sure. Like, I didn't think that took that long.
탈출 개체 확인.
Oh, it. Did I read over that? I mean, it's been a couple months.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
Like I know that the White Days or the White Knights, like the second White Knights, took a week, but whether that's the same period of time as Angela Ascending is a different question entirely.
파우스트는 알고 있으니까요.
Like, I'm not sure I'm willing to just assume that. Unterführung. I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. I have no idea if I did. Well, don't forget your support, because otherwise you're gonna get horribly murdered, Tochel.
임무 시작.
탈출 개체 확인.
돌격합니다.
위협 대상 제거.
But I mean, I can be remarkably imperceptive sometimes. Like, it is funny going back to the start of Runa, like watching someone else play it and realizing, holy shit, he talks about a lot of stuff you don't realize at the start. The first thing he does is name drop the purple tear, and I just completely forgot about it. Like, and apparently so did Angela, because I feel like that would have come up.
제압 완료. 기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
It's always fun when you can experience something a second time and realize just how much foreshadowing there is. What team am I planning to make? Honestly, dude, no idea. Whatever comes out of the gacha when I finally do it. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I really don't. Like, I'm serious, I have done minimal research on this game. I am mainly here to experience the story. I always seem to use Otis as Ego. I wonder why that is. Ego? Ego.
여행에는 목적이 있었지.
제법 지쳤나 보.
대체가 약화되는 것 같습니다.
Like, the way my cards have currently fallen, I seem to have a lot of poise synergy. Like, not poise synergy, but I have a lot of individual poise. So probably the first plan is to get on that.
위협 대상 제거.
그 누구도 불 수 없게.
기름도 나오지 않는 놈이구려.
But who knows what happens after I burn some of the lunacy I've been gathering. Anyway, I think I just got in front of the dungeon, didn't I?
공포에는 익숙해지시는 게 좋을 겁니다. 아직 50일까지
Yep.
많은 날이 남은 걸
Branch KO2. I'm starting to notice a pattern with these branch designations. Poison and perhaps blade bandage with salt or resentful blade master kip. Yeah, maybe. I do need to do this fight again, but I'll do that on my own later. I am gonna do this next time, because quite frankly, dungeons always take forever. Especially because I have Wanderlust. With which, I mean to say, I always look for extra dialogue. So, yeah, this is gonna be the end of this stream, unfortunately. It's been nice meeting you, Lord Starlight. And I'm gonna look for someone to raid. Nobody is online except for Nadian, so I guess we'll say hi to her. Let's see if I can do a proper outro this time. Thanks to everyone who came and watched me play Columbus Company. I've been Dojel. I hope to see you next time. I still can't do an outro apparently. Go say hi to Nadian. And remember, don't be a stranger, because that's my job. And I'll see you next time.
그대 드디어 목적지를 찾은 것이오.